Hi, this is Adam. This is another Eye on North Carolina blog. We are here in Matthews, North Carolina at the Matthews Heritage Museum. Really happy to be here. It's right in downtown quaint Matthews. This museum opened up in June 2013, and I'm here with director Barbara Taylor, who's going to tell us more about all the things that the museum has to offer. I'm here with Barbara, and she's going to tell us more about the Matthews Heritage Museum.
Well, we're standing in front of the Massey Clark Museum, or Massey Clark House, which was lived in by both Dr. Massey and then later the Clarks. And it was a private home, very small, built in 1880, and it houses a small treasure, we believe, of Matthews heritage. This is Doc Yandel. He was the pharmacist in town. He was not a doctor, but people called him Doc. We do have his original mortar and pestle on display, and people are intrigued to know that pills didn't always come in bottles from the pharmaceutical companies, that actually Doc Yandel played a big role because he compounded the medicine and put them together. The pharmacy was a real gathering point for people because you could buy your bus ticket to the next place there. You could order flowers. They had a phone early on, so many people did not. And it was just a way of coming together and getting news about the day. Doc was famous for one thing, and that was his shaved ice Coca-Colas. At that point, syrup was, Coca-Colas were coming to the soda fountain as syrup, and then you'd add your own soda to it, and he would shave the ice into the glass, and it was said people came from Charlotte to come down to Matthews just for the shaved ice Coca-Cola.
Wow. That sounds good on a hot day like today.
The pharmacy also housed at different times two different doctors, Dr. Reed and I believe it was Dr. McManus had offices there. So in some ways it was a little bit like a one-stop shop. For a small community in the 1880s of less than 200 people, we did have a couple of doctors in town already, so we were well taken care of. One of the favorite gathering spots for the town was the Stars swimming pool. It was huge. It was fed by springs initially. Here in 1946, you see that the pool was 140 yards long.
Wow.
And 90 yards wide, so quite a bit larger than a football field. And what I like to point out is that there was actually a swing set inside the pool.
I see that.
And that is a floating bridge from World War II.
Wow. That looks fun. I wish they had that now.
I think a few people do. But of course, in the evenings, the kids would come back and listen to the jukebox and dance. So this was a big entertainment. And the Stars, Barnum Star was a twin. And they held once a year a twins picnic, and hundreds of twins from around the Carolinas would come. Matthews was not always named Matthews. It had actually two names to begin with. This was settled very early in the 1800s, and of course the Native Americans were here first. And it said when we first started clearing land, it was being cleared at such a rate that people were leaving stumps, and it was difficult to turn a wagon around, so it became known as Stumptown. Our second name was named after John Fullwood, who was the stagecoach depot operator. His house was a store and the stagecoach stop, and so of course it was natural for people to call it Fullwood Station, and here's an envelope that was addressed to Fullwood. But as the train came through, in 1874 the train rolled through for the first time, and the name by 1879 when Matthews was incorporated, it had become known as Matthews for one of the board members of the train, of the company. What you're seeing here is the grill work and original woodwork from the Matthews Bank. That was founded in 1909 and survived until it merged with BB&T. So many people still walk in here today and remember standing, waiting to cash a check. The Funderburks owned the bank, and it was very important to the local economy. It didn't come down until 1978. So it was quite a fixture in this town. Another fixture in the town were the Stoker sisters. They were the people who switched your calls for you. Operator, please, and Mamie Stoker worked 24/7 because the telephone exchange, which you see here, was actually in her dining room, and so she had to be
there at all times.
At all times. Occasionally, she'd get a couple of young men to help her, but I can assure you that she knew everything that was going on in town.
Oh, I bet. All the gossip.
All the gossip. If you spoke of a recipe and she realized you had left something out, she would remind you what you had left out. So, or if the doctor had gone away and was, taking care of somebody, she would alert you to the fact that, call back later, he's not there.
So I'd like to thank Barbara for the tour. The Matthews Heritage Museum has so much to offer with regard to the history here. I didn't realize that there was 2 other names previous to the name Matthews, so there's definitely a lot of tidbits here that you may not know about this town. And we hope you guys can come out. This is another Eye on North Carolina blog, and we'll see y'all soon.